I want to share with you the three ways that I've used AI in my business and career that have really moved the needle for me. And it might be different than how you're currently using it, or if you're not using it at all, it might give you some ideas of how you might use it moving forward. AI isn't coming for your creativity, but it is coming for anyone who refuses to understand it. The question isn't whether it will affect your work, but it's whether you're going to get ahead of it or get left behind. So let's talk about the fear of job loss, and let's talk about what's real and the skills that you need in order to show up in this new ecosystem. Over 43% of workers worry that using AI at work will eventually make their job obsolete, which is nearly half the workforce. And that fear is not totally irrational, but fear without information is just paralysis. The World Economic Forum projects 92 million roles will be displaced by the year 2030. So at the time that we are recording this video in 2026, that's 4 years from now. However, 170 million new ones will be created. That's a net gain of 78 million jobs. So the jobs that are being lost and the jobs that are being created are not the same jobs. And that gap is where the real risk lives. Here's what the data actually says. AI appears to be suppressing hiring more than destroying existing jobs. Employers are using AI to avoid adding headcount rather than immediately firing people. There are extenuating circumstances that we're seeing in social media, but that is not the majority. Entry level jobs is where the squeeze is happening first. So if you are in an early stage in your career or you are pivoting to the next thing, this really matters to you right now. Why partnering with AI in 2026 is non-negotiable. Professionals with specialized AI skills now command salaries up to 56% higher than people in identical roles without those AI skills. Let me just say that again for the people in the back. People with specialized AI skills are now able to command salaries 56% higher than people in those identical roles without those AI skills. So this is the pay gap of our generation, and it is widening fast. The most protected workers in every study share that these traits are why they are successful. Number one, strong analytical thinking, critical thinking, the ability to understand what is going on and what is right from wrong, what is better versus not as good, right? What is the reality? Strong analytical thinking is very important in this age. Emotional intelligence, the ability to manage your own emotions and manage the emotions of those around you. This is a highly paid, highly sought out skill because, again, it allows you to manage in fast changing environments and be resilient in relationship with yourself and other people. Very important. Creativity, complex problem solving, and adaptability to new tools, including AI itself, is everything that you need in order to be successful moving forward. This really all points to resilience, right? So if we were to package it up and put a bow on it, we're talking about resilience skills. Everything that you have already been developing as a creative is your competitive edge. AI is the amplifier and the multiplier of that. Okay, and I will say from my own personal experience as a non-technical person and a non-technical founder, you do not need to be a tech company and you do not need to be technical in order to benefit from this technology, but you do need to be intentional. So I want to share with you the three ways that I've used AI in my business and career that have really moved the needle for me. And it might be different than how you're currently using it, or if you're not using it at all, it might give you some ideas of how you might use it moving forward. Number one is I use it as a strategic business planning partner, right? So versus what a lot of other people do is they use it as an admin tasker, right? So for example, they use it to create emails. I like to use it as a way to think through offers, to think about pricing strategy, go-to-market strategy, market positioning, actual long-term business planning, stuff that used to take my brain days, weeks, months, years to figure out, I can now do in a matter of hours. It really is quite amazing. And I want to share a statistic that I find really interesting, which is that the number one consumer AI use case is writing emails. And only 19% of US adults use it for strategic thinking. I would welcome you and encourage you to experiment what that might look like for you in your business, in your career. The second way that I leveraged AI to really move the needle in my creative career and business is I taught myself basic coding and I built the CoMuse Media Hub. I did it just to see if I could do it. It was what I call a tiny experiment. It took me a total of 8 hours. It had different columns. It had an intake function where people could subscribe to our newsletters or unsubscribe. It had a scheduler that would deploy content across multiple columns and areas and subjects. It's incredible that I was able to do this. I did it in 8 hours. I have no computer science degree. I am not a developer by any stretch of the imagination. And I had a functioning media hub up and running in 8 hours. If I were to do this on my own in the past, I would have had to take at least one or two beginning intermediate courses on coding, and then the implementation of actually creating the hub. Did I come up across lots of errors? Yes, it was a learning curve for me. But because I was asking a lot of powerful questions from my AI agent, it was teaching me in real time the steps that I needed to go through in the right order in order to create this media hub. In the first half of 2025 alone, 77,999 tech jobs were directly tied to AI-driven layoffs. AI is also giving non-coders the power to build, right? So while there are layoffs happening, this is true, the balancing of the scales is that it's empowering people like me who have no coding background to build. While it's disrupting one person's job, it's handing another person a completely new skill set. So it's doing this. And the skills, again, are in the prompting, right? In asking the right question. The third way I've leveraged AI to really move the needle in my career and creative business is I built a compassionate muse AI agent that checks my values alignment in all of my projects. So whether I'm working on a philosophy or a strategic plan or a conversation that I have coming up and I am concerned about, I want to be careful or full of care about the outcome of that relationship and taking care of that person. I want to create a win-win strategy, right? All of these things, I run it through my Compassionate Muse AI agent. And it lets me know if I'm moving forward in a way that's aligned with my core values, which is what I built my business on. And we talk a lot about core values in this channel. So if you're interested in learning what your core values are for your business, we have loads of videos in our library that you can watch. I use AI now as a checks and balances partner to ensure that I am on track and aligned with my core values. That lets me know I am moving in the right direction or I'm off. If you are not ready yet to jump in to this technology, I understand the fear. I really do. And I am absolutely not dismissing it. I think that avoiding what scares you actually makes you smaller and it doesn't make the technology go away. So I would invite you to sit with the fear and know that the real work isn't necessarily learning AI, because once you make a decision to learn it, it actually moves pretty quickly. I think the bigger work here is befriending your fear that's keeping you from getting your head around it in the first place. And that is a coaching conversation. That's why we're here, and that's why this channel exists. I'd be remiss to not say to do your research on the privacy and security settings of any tool that you use. Please do not skip this step. Do the work, do the research. There are loads of reputable sources out there that will let you know how to use this technology responsibly. Do yourself a favor and do that. Maybe that is the very first step that you take. And that will give you some peace of mind as you move forward and start using it. If you have watched this video to the end and you love this content, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and it helps get our channel in front of lots of other creatives who might benefit. And I'd love to invite you to subscribe to our CoMuse newsletter. It's completely free, and we keep in touch with all our subscribers and let you know when our next Creative Compass 90-day coaching program opens, which includes a full session training on AI built specifically for creatives like you. Link is in the description. Stay mindful out there, and see you in the next video.